Welcome to Living High, Wild, and Free. Let's head to the kitchen with a classic from overseas with a wild twist, a hunter's pie or shepherd pie with ground venison. I'm making enough for a double batch, but I'll include a list of ingredients and quantities for a single batch so you and your stomach can decide proper portions. There's two main parts to a hunter's pie, the filling and mash. Let's start with the topping of our pie by chopping some taters. I like to peel, chop, and plop the taters in water right away. This reduces the likelihood of discoloration. Now pour out the water that the chopped taters are soaking in and add some fresh water into the pot along with salt. Once the potatoes are totally submerged, it's time to get the water to a boil. Let them boil for about 15 minutes or until they're soft enough that a fork can easily poke through them. Drain off all the water and let it sit on the stove without a cover to allow more water to evaporate. While that's hanging out, heat up some cream and butter and add that to the mix. If you're a fan of sour cream like me, go ahead and plop way too much in. Now it's time to put the mash in mashed potatoes. Keep on mashing until they're nice and creamy like this. Add some pepper and salt to taste. Now that we're done with the topping, let's switch over to the filling by heating up a pan and plopping in some chopped onion. Add some salt and keep that heat high to make those onions sweat. Time for the ground venison. For my grind, I used 100% venison, including all the fat. I have no idea what the fat ratio is for this grind, so I'll make up a number like 80-20. Don't forget to put some salt and pepper on that venison, and once it's partially browned, add some minced garlic to the mix. Now that the venison is cooked, pour it into a strainer so all the juices catch in a pan. Don't waste any of the drippings, we'll use those later for a delicious gravy. Make sure to use a strainer that is barely big enough, like I did, so it makes it extra exciting. Add a whack of butter to the pan used to brown the venison. Don't worry about cleaning out the pan, all the little tidbits add flavor. Now, the key to a good gravy is to scrape the bottom of the pan on a low to medium heat. This will add flavor, and paired with the butter, it'll make things so tasty. Now add the drippings into the pan along with equal parts water. Bring to a simmer and gently sprinkle in flour. Now, don't try to be slick like me and stir in the flour with a spoon. This will just make the flour clump, as you can see. Rather, whisk in the flour and put in some elbow grease to make the gravy nice and smooth. Once the gravy is nice and thick with 3 C's, it's time to add the mixed veggies. I'm putting in frozen peas and carrots. Do whatever feels right here. Green beans or corn, I don't know. Just whatever sounds good to you. Heat everything up and turn off the heat and add venison to the mix. I've removed about half of the filling and placed it into another pan. Be sure to make the filling as even as possible before placing the mash on top. If you're an artist, this is a great time to add a little decoration to the top, but I'm too darn hungry for pizzazz. Into the oven it goes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for roughly 30 minutes or until the top is nicely light and brown. Now that we have our beautiful pie out of the oven, the final steps are to add a sprinkle of paprika on top and let sit for 10 to 15 minutes. Now get yourself a big old heaping and enjoy. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the like button.